So, after Bowser's Fury, I've been keen on covering other Mario games. Back in February, I picked up the 2024 Switch remake of Mario vs. Donkey Kong, originally released 20 years ago for the Game Boy Advance. Now, I love the MVDK series. I played the DS titles a ton growing up, and I was incredibly disappointed with Tipping Stars. However, when I saw that the first game was getting a remake, I couldn't not pick this up. I liked the original, but it was a little too flawed for my liking. Now we can play this game on a home console in glorious 1080p HD. How exciting. Let's dive in. The game begins with Donkey Kong watching the news and seeing that a mini Mario toy was released, and he wants one for himself so he doesn't have to worry about experiencing FOMO. Why would a big smelly ape like DK give a shit about some dumb toy? A toy of Mario, no less. You know, his rival? Anyway, he rushes to the nearest toy store, but the mini Marios are sold out, so he chooses to do the next best thing and go to the source. I'm glad Toad is still reminding us how much these things cost 20 years later. DK barges in and steals all the toys in the factory, and soon he'll be selling them on eBay for 10 times the original price. Thankfully, Mario is here to prevent him from doing so. By the way, as far as I'm aware, this is Mario's final game in which he was voiced by the legendary Charles Martinet. So allow me to take this time to thank Charles for his incredible work. I wish you nothing but the best in the next chapter of your journey, and I'm jealous that my friend Joe got to meet you in person. I hope to have that privilege one day. This game is a 2D Mario puzzle platformer, and a really good one in fact. When you begin the game, you are given the choice between two different playstyles. The classic mode is exactly as the game was played back in 04. Well, not really, but I'll talk about that in a second. And we also have the casual mode, where there are checkpoints, no time limit, and 5 extra hit points before losing a life. Casual is basically for the YouTube wannabes who want to get footage recorded for their videos. Like me. Yes, I admittedly played most of this game in the casual mode, but I did play the classic mode when I initially got this game. Speaking of classic, this is incorrect. It's more akin to the original, but it's not one-to-one. To understand what I'm talking about, let's talk about the original for a second. By the way, I'm borrowing footage from a long play recorded by XRavenXP because I'm a lazy bitch. I'll leave a link to their channel below. Your main objective is to get a key to unlock a door, then make it to the end of the level to free the mini Mario toy. That's the bare minimum. If you want the gold star, you need to collect the 3 presents scattered around the level, and they usually require you to hit some extra switches or something along the lines of that. Sounds simple, right? Well, here's the thing. It was never like this. In the original, not only did you have to do those aforementioned tasks, but you also have to do it in a certain amount of time and also without dying. Defeating enemies gives you a score bonus as well, and after collecting all the presents, you would play a minigame for extra lives. None of this is necessary in the remake, and the minigame you play is different and only shows up after you play a certain amount of levels. So while these are little nitpicks, that's all they are. They don't hinder this game's replay value. The remake prioritizes the puzzle aspect of the game, which is its strongest suit. Each world contains 6 levels, a mini Mario escort level, and a boss fight against DK. What's really cool about the remake is that it actually includes 2 brand new worlds with new levels. So now instead of 6 worlds, there are 8 in total, which is great. The new levels fit right in here. You probably wouldn't even know they were new if you didn't play the original. As far as the controls go, they're definitely more refined here. Movement for the most part is reactive to every input on the controller, which is good because there were often times in the original where I would press A to jump, but Mario would just refuse to jump. Yeah, I don't know either. There were some occasions in the original where if you fell too far down, Mario would need a couple seconds to recover. This was annoying and thankfully nerfed in the remake. After 8 worlds, we fight Donkey Kong once again after he kidnaps the Toads. DK falls from the rooftop and the credits roll. However, we're not done. DK falls into a mini Mario toy truck and stuffs the toys in his sack. Then the cycle repeats again. This is Plus Mode. Here you explore 6 new levels in each world, in which the mini Mario is now holding the key to the door at the end of the level. You now have to find him and safely navigate him to the door while avoiding obstacles. Now, you're probably wondering whether or not there's any incentive towards getting the gold stars. Well, there is. The gold stars contribute towards unlocking the expert levels. These are harder versions of the levels we've been playing all along. The only difference is that there's no second part. Just get the key to the door and get the presents within a much tighter time limit to get the gold star. The expert levels in the original didn't have gold stars, so this is a welcome change. Unfortunately, we are missing out on the e-reader levels. Yeah, the original had 12 exclusive levels that could only be accessed using the e-reader attachment for the GBA. Those levels aren't in the remake, which is a real shame. Maybe they can be free DLC sometime. Nintendo, you listening? Let's talk about the boss fights. Each has you whacking DK 4 times in different ways. Whether it's with barrels, bombs, shy guys, fruit, or trash cans, each boss has its own set of attack patterns, and a damageless run will net you a gold star. Plus mode makes these fights a little tougher. Well, except for World 6. That boss is hard enough thanks to the ice physics. The final boss sees DK capturing the last of the mini Marios with his giant robot. After destroying it with barrels, he sulks in the corner. Mario feels bad and gives him one anyway, which psychologically sends the message to kids and grown-ups alike that if you scream and break shit enough times, parents and companies respectively will give you what you want. Man, we are fucked as a society. So the credits roll along with some very smooth jazz. Oh yeah, let's have a little chat about that sexy shit. Each song in this game sounds so good. Smooth jazz was the perfect genre for a game like this. The new worlds have some catchy tunes as well. But the music that plays in levels 2 and 5 of Slippery Summit, oh my god, it's so beautiful. I'm gonna shut the fuck up so you can hear it for yourself. Man, do yourself a favor. If you don't have this game, look up the soundtrack on YouTube. It's banger after banger after banger. Mario and Jazz is the crossover that Mario and Sonic wishes it was. The graphics are top-notch here. Now, I know they're not really pushing the capabilities of the console, but they're still really good. The game runs at a smooth 60 FPS from start to finish without fail, which is always good. Speaking of the graphics, the FMVs look phenomenal. This is the cleanest I've seen these characters ever. The expressions are so lively, and Mario's lips are actually animated when he speaks. In addition to the two playstyles, this game also includes a new time attack mode, where you can turn every level into a speed run. Make it to the end in a set time limit to win yourself a gold coin. I got all the normal and expert levels for this video, but at some point I do want to come back to get the plus levels taken care of. Okay, so everything sounds well and good. What more can I say? Well, I do have some complaints, so let's talk about them. First things first, Mario is not calling Donkey Kong a big monkey anymore. Why not? Is it racist? Is Mario afraid of getting canceled on Twitter? Come to think of it, there's quite a few lines from the original that Mario just does not say here. He does not say, "Let's go!" when he goes through the door. There's no cool or cute winning screen after beating DK in each world. Instead of saying a different line in each world's intro cutscene, Mario just goes, "No, stop, go back!" The awesome two-player mode has your friend play as Toad, not Luigi for some reason. And why does Mario not congratulate the Mini for unlocking the door? Now that I think about it, he's a lazy bitch. I mean, he doesn't even say the title of the game anymore. In the original, he did. Now, all of this sounds nitpicky, and it is, but when it comes to remakes, the little elements that get lost in translation irk me. If you watched my Pac-Man World Repack review, you will know how I feel about unnecessary changes that don't make the remake as faithful to its original counterpart as I would like. Thankfully, that's not entirely the case here. However, Nintendo currently has no way for you to access the original Game Boy Advance game. It's still not on NSO, which is a huge missed opportunity in my opinion. Calm your tits, John. Why the hell are you complaining about stupid little things that do nothing to the overall replay value? Because up to this point, I've been struggling to say anything negative about this game. It's that good. Mario vs. Donkey Kong is a fun puzzle platformer. This remake is outstanding with the improved graphics, better controls, jazzy soundtrack, and solid replayability. Even with the nitpicks, they didn't hinder my experience. Now, is this game worth the price tag? That's a different story. Mario vs. Donkey Kong is $50, which is a little steep in my opinion. This is a GBA remake. I feel like a better price, in my opinion, is around $30 to $35-ish. Regardless, this game is very worthy of your time. I'm giving the Mario vs. Donkey Kong Switch remake a 7 out of 10. Does this game replace the original? Well, no. This is just a new way to experience Mario vs. Donkey Kong, and in my opinion, the definitive way. Remakes do not replace their original counterparts, as video games are a work of art, and art can never be replaced. If you haven't already, definitely check out the original GBA game, whether you have it lying around somewhere or you need to emulate it. One last thing, it is nice to see Nintendo give credit to the game's original developers, both here and in Bowser's Fury. Take notes, Bandai Namco! So there we go, another season of JuniorNitro in the books. I apologize for the gap between February and June where I didn't upload. Life hasn't been the greatest for me, but that's a story for another time. For now, thank you guys for watching this video as well as the rest of the videos on the channel. If you think I earned it, consider supporting what I do for as little as $1 a month over on Patreon, which is linked down below. And one final thank you to Deadly Black, Glitch Hatter, and Paint Huffer for their thumbnail contributions. You guys are awesome. Anyway, why don't we end things off by seeing how Nitro's doing in the polls? He probably got his ass kicked. Wait, he won in a historic sweep of the entire nation? Oh no.